boys and girls. Today our learning target is I can write a draft of a personal narrative. So we're taking those personal narrative ideas that we did earlier this week, and now we're writing a rough draft. We can then go back in and edit it and make it even more fabulous, but first you have to write your draft. So in this personal narrative, you were writing about a time when you faced a problem in your life, and then thinking about a character who, thinking about that character, helped you solve the problem. Or maybe it was a character that faced a similar problem as you did. Then at the end, you come back to your real life problem and how you solved it. Now, the way I just told that is actually how your personal narrative is going to go. Your first paragraph is about your problem. It's the real life part of it. And then it's like, you're going to go into your brain and remember the story character. That's the second paragraph, talking about the character and how that character solves problems. The third paragraph comes back to real life, and it's how you solved your problem using what you learned from that character. So it sort of makes a sandwich. You have your real life, and then in the middle you have your book character. If you're still struggling with choosing what kind of book character to focus on, I really recommend that you read or listen to the stories that we've read so far in your My Book. We had Marisol McDonald Doesn't Match, where she was solving problems about whether you should fit in or be yourself. We had Judy Moody, where she was solving problems about keeping those big emotions that she has under control or using them in positive ways. There was Stink and the Freaky Frog Freakout, where his problems were about being successful studying for something and how he solved that kind of situation. And finally, we read Scaredy Squirrel, where the problem was that Scaredy Squirrel is afraid of everything, and how Scaredy Squirrel overcame that problem. Those stories are a great choice for this project because you have them at home with you right now in your My Book. So today we're going to keep working on the Write a Personal Narrative assignment, but today we're going to work on the draft, the rough draft. When you write this, you should have 3 paragraphs. Remember, paragraphs are where you press the tab key on your keyboard to indent it, and then you write all your thoughts, and then press enter and tab to do a new paragraph with a new indent. Look at a chapter book if you want to see paragraphs in action. You can see the little indented parts where there's like a space on the left side that tells you where a paragraph starts. We'll take a look at paragraphs in our meeting today if you're not quite sure what I mean. In your first paragraph in this draft, this is the beginning of your narrative. You're going to tell about your problem and get the reader's attention. Write this as if you're telling it to someone who doesn't know about your problem and what was going on. Give enough details that the reader, it's like they're there with you. Now, in the middle, we're going to think about the book and the character in a book that helped you. That's why the little picture is the person thinking about a book. So in this paragraph, your problem made you think of a book character. You're going to need to tell which book character, why you thought of them, and how the character solved problems in their story. That's a really important part. If your character solves problems by talking it out, you'll want to include that. If your character solved problems by showing grit and never giving up, you'll include that. If your character solved problems by making lots of lists and being super prepared, include that. You get the idea. Your final paragraph is the ending. Then we're going to come back to real life and tell what you did to solve the problem that you had in the beginning. So, 3 paragraphs. That's a big difference from the kind of writing you did in earlier grades where you didn't have to write more than 1 paragraph. Paragraphs will need to have more than 3 sentences about each of these ideas, but if you're doing a good job answering each of these prompts, getting more than 3 sentences will be no problem. Let me show you how to upload this doc in a new assignment since we already started working on it earlier in the week. Okay, so to work on your draft, we're going to have to take the document you did earlier this week and re-upload it into this one. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do in the next part of this video. Okay, I'm logged in a student account to show you how to take a Google Doc you've already done and attach it to a new assignment. First, we're going to go into our Google Classroom. And right now I'm logged in as a student. You can tell because my icon is not my actual teacher face, it's this little golden retriever puppy. So if I go to classwork and I first go double check that you did the writing assignment from earlier this week, the personal narrative. So let's view the assignment. Here is Jan's assignment that she did earlier this week, and she can see that I looked at it and said, great job. Once I've graded your work, I return it to you with a grade. Jan can tell that her work has been returned to her because this blue button has come back. If I haven't returned the work, you don't have the option to resubmit it because it's already been submitted. The teacher has it. Remember, it's like the blue button is you putting it in my turn-in basket and on my desk. Then when I'm done with it, I hand it back to you. So Jan's work has been handed back to her and she's ready to do the next part of the assignment. So now that Jan knows that her assignment was finished and returned to her, she can go to today's work. That's this one, Thursday, 11/19 ELA, drafting a personal narrative is the word that it cut off. She's going to view the assignment. When you look at it, there will be more directions here. Now, she's not going to click Mark as done. She needs to go find her old assignment and click Add or Create. Let's look back at the old assignment and remember what its name was. So the original assignment was called it had your name and then personal narrative. So if we can't find it, we need to search for personal narrative and that will pop it up. But with any luck, it will be right on top when we open our Google Drive. So we're going to go to Add or Create, and we're not going to make a new doc. We're going to go look in our Google Drive to find the thing we've already started. Okay, here's her math work. Ah, there it was, write a personal narrative. So she would click this and insert it. But let's pretend for a moment that she couldn't find it on her recent page. You can go to your drive and scroll down and look at all of them, or you can use the search button and type the name of the thing you're looking for. Personal narrative. And here it is, write a personal narrative. Either way, she's going to click it and insert it. There, it has attached itself. Now she can work on it again, but it's in this new assignment. When she's finished writing her rough draft today, she can press the blue button to turn it in. And that'll send it to me, the teacher, and I will be able to grade it and return it to her when it's finished. So once more, just to make sure you remember, we use the Add or Create button to go to Google Drive. When you're in the drive, you can either just click on the assignment you want, or you can search for it in your drive. That's all for now. See you in the next video.